I'm pushing everything back in this story. So, you graduate the academy at 18. Yes, I know. Really old. Oh my god, they're freaking old. But you graduate the academy at 18. You start the academy at 8. So you got 10 years to solidify your skills. That is really required. First 4 years, completely academic. 5th, 6th, 7th, completely physical to get you into shape. 8th and 9th, all chakra control with a little bit of physical on top to keep you in shape. 9th and 10th, the basics for all shinobi work and what shinobis do. Now, by this point in time, there's maybe like 5, maybe 6 people left. But since this is a class of clan heirs, there's exactly 12 people left. Multiple from different clans. So there's 2 Yamanakas, 2 Akimichis, 2 Abarames. Multiple. So any kind of combination for the last team that you'll never see, you can go with that. She's going to be on Team 7. And everybody is indifferent to her. Completely indifferent to her. Now, here's the fun bit. She's been in the academy for more than everybody else. She guilt-tripped the Sandaime into letting her into the academy 4 years early. She's stupid smart. So every month she went to the Sandaime, Hiruzen, Old Man Hokage, whatever you want to call him, and did a test with him. She had perfect marks in that test. In the test in the academy, on the other hand, she was completely incompetent. They did an IQ test. She got a 0. Yeah. She got a 0. She reenacted brain death. So, yeah. But when she did the test with the Hokage, she was top of the line, super genius. She could make a nuclear bomb out of paperclip and bubble gum. Kind of super genius. Don't actually try that. I don't know if you're actually capable of doing that, but don't actually try that. I must put a disclaimer. Do not try making any of the things that I say she can make without professionals or without the legal backing behind you. Please do not do any of this. By the end of the academy, she's completely changed. She started the academy as a blonde, blue-eyed, bright child. 4 years into the academy, when her normal grade started, she's finished all the academic stuff, moved on to the physical stuff. Now, here's where it gets good. She completes physical stuff within a year. So she's best of the best for physical stuff. She's ahead of everybody that is in the normal canon. She's ahead of everybody. She gets stuck in the chakra control and theory section. Theory she understands completely. She's been doing that before. But she gets stuck in the chakra control. Because they want her, who has the 10 tails amount of chakra. She has the 10 tails amount of chakra. Don't worry, I'll tell you how and why she has it later. To have a singular leaf, one singular leaf, on her forehead. To past the chakra control. Now, she can manipulate a finite amount of chakra, but this finite amount of chakra is enough to power Konoha for 13 years. So, I think she has a little bit of chakra. So, to successfully wall walk, she had to put these giant weight seals on bracelets and ankle bracelets and a necklace to make sure she doesn't just shred all of reality with her chakra control. Because that's how much chakra she has. She just pushes a little bit to stick to the tree, just completely shatters the tree out of reality. So she's never fighting at 100%. Never. Now, this changed when she became 16. When she became 16. And all of her chakra got turned into something called Ryatsu. So she completely negated the mixture of physical energy and spiritual energy to make chakra. Now she manipulates spiritual energy and uses physical energy just to increase her muscle strength. So yeah. But here's where it gets good. You know that sword you see on the back of her when you clicked onto this video and you saw the picture? Yeah. That's a Zanpakuto. Yeah. Spirit, you'll figure that out later. So, she just graduated. And everybody's like, whoa, congratulations. So the Sendaime Hokage, with the help of Jiraiya, has faked the seal that is no longer on her stomach onto her stomach. They sealed a Kage Bunshin of Minato Namikaze into her seal. So if someone tries to go into the seal, they get completely crushed by Minato's basically double. So she's safe in that respect. But now, where did the Ninetales go? Because the Ninetales seals disappeared when she turned 16. Well, she gets home and she sees 3 beautiful women. 1, red hair, red eyes, just beautiful. Smiles, just has a gorgeous smile. Her. 1 with dark green hair, bikini on. Just, her hands are just dripping with blood. And gives a beautiful sadistic smile. And this one. This has a dark aura around her. And old Victorian kind of clothes. Just a beautiful, gorgeous necklace. And gives her a just loving smile. And this comes barreling down the hallway. Well, technically 3 of them. Each of them have 1 single head, so hopefully you can understand where I'm going with this. So 3 dogs come running down the hallway. One's glowing blue and has like blue flames coming out of her mouth. One's glowing red, having red flames coming out of her mouth. And one's glowing green, having green flames coming out of her mouth. So, Yes, poison, fire, and ice. Well, technically it's curse, heat, and cold, so. She walks in, and she takes off the god-awful jumpsuit that she had. It was a reddish-orange jumpsuit that she hated. She grabbed her leather jacket, red leather jacket, took off her tank top, and just had a sports bra on. Put on the red leather jacket, didn't zip it up, changed her reddish-orange jumpsuit pants for red leather pants. Has a few chains hanging down, a few different things attached to those chains, and a singular scroll holder on her right hip. Oh, excuse me. And there's 3 seals on the outside of the scroll holder. One says kunai, one says shuriken, one says sinbon. But that's all it says. It doesn't have any of the seal engrams. People just see it and go, oh, there's a seal there. And I'll tell you why later. Now, here's where it gets fun. Like, really fun. She looks at her house and goes, you know, it's time for it to hit the skies where it's supposed to be. And all 3 of them are going, do whatever you want. She goes, okay. So she walks out of the house, walks over to 4 corners, and takes up the tags that she has. The seal tags. Dropping the genjutsu around her house. That genjutsu turned the Flying Dutchman, which is what's written on the hull of the ship. This boat. And I know this is not the original Flying Dutchman. It's a... whatever you think the Flying Dutchman is, that's what she had as a house. On dry land with what looks like spider legs on it. And a... not ladder. Plank. Down to the ground level so she can get on. And she gets on. And all of a sudden, an Ambu appears where her house was and goes, where'd the house go? The dogs just immediately run out and form into the big one. And she immediately yells, Scarlet, Frost, and Viper, stop. Because they're about to blow the person away. Cat, which is the only one who knows she has a house out here, walks up to the hull of the top deck of the ship and goes, apparently you stole the scroll of sealing? She goes, no, I didn't. The Hokage gave it to me, 2, maybe 3 years ago, to hide here. And she goes, well, apparently someone stole the apparently fake now scroll of sealing. Yes. I have a seal that tracks it. You want me to go get it? She goes, sure. So she goes and she sees Mizuki looking through the scroll and is like, what the hell is this? And she goes, you like the rough draft of the books I sell? And he goes, what? And she goes, yeah. You know that book called The Lustful Adventure of the Demon Queen? And he goes, yeah. Yeah, that's the rough draft. And he goes, what are you talking about? And she goes, well, ever since I learned the passing requirement of, what do you call it? Chakra control, I was suspicious. And he goes, you know that's a big word, and you know you didn't use it right. She goes, shut up, I'm smarter than you think. And he goes, yeah, right. She looks directly at him and goes, you're Mizuki. You stole a scroll of seals for Orochimaru, who you think will give you power, and that elixir you drank earlier, which I can still smell it on your breath, friggin' stinks, isn't actually the formula from Orochimaru. It's from his subordinate, Kabuto, who wants to make his own cursed seal. Kabuto is currently in the trees listening to this, going, this ain't good. And she keeps listing out the different things that Kabuto wants to do. And she finally goes, oh yeah, and Kabuto wants to replace Orochimaru once Orochimaru's usefulness is over. He wants to become the new Orochimaru. And Kabuto's now sweating because he knows that he put a transmission seal on Mizuki to transmit any conversation he has over the day to Orochimaru. And Orochimaru is currently listening to this going, huh. I knew he was a little too loyal. So, Kabuto's sweating. Orochimaru's like, once I'm done with Kabuto, I'm a slay him. Wasn't going to originally say that, but I'm a slay him. Yeah, that works. Oh, and the 3 people that were in her house are currently in an unknown location, just watching this pool of blood. Yes, it's blood. Just watching her and just swooning over her. And everybody's like going around with their heads cut off. She's just confidently talking to Mizuki. And Mizuki's like, okay, stop. Where's the real scroll of sealing? She whistles, and all of a sudden, they hear creaking of a ship. Like the inside hull of a galleon ship. And it just flies overhead. Just completely unstopped. Just flies overhead. And this giant scroll just goes thud on the ground. She goes, that's the Forbidden Scroll. It's 3 times bigger than it originally was in canon. And Mizuki's like, why is this so huge? She goes, I added like 13 different jutsus to that. And most of them are S ranked. So... And he goes, no, you couldn't have. And she goes, okay. The newest one should be the... What was it called again? Oh yeah, Dream's Illusion. And he opens it up and sees the newest inking, and it says Genjutsu type physical. It's like physical. And underneath it says Dream's Illusion. And she goes, I can quote the effects are word for word. It shows the person's most erotic dream possible. And plays it back until the person dies of blood loss via nosebleed, or their member explodes if they're male of blood pressure and dies that way. And he looks at it and sees this and goes, what? And Orochimaru hears this and goes, I need that scroll. Kabuto's like thinking, I should not let Orochimaru get that scroll. Everybody else who hears it, including Sarutobi's like, I really don't like that. And she goes, ooh, the best part about that is they're stuck in their own mind. So they can't get out unless either the caster of the jutsu or somebody else physically hurts them and disrupts their chakra to get them out. And he reads this and goes, I'm kind of regretting what I was originally going to do. And she goes, what were you originally going to do? He goes, steal a forbidden scroll and give it to Orochimaru. And she goes, see? I'm not dumb. He goes, no, you're not dumb. If you really made this, I'm absolutely terrified of you. She goes, hee. Yeah, I'm not the one who made it originally. It was myself from a different universe. And he goes, what? And she goes, yeah. Haven't you heard of the multiverse theory? And he goes, what? And she goes, yeah, I love that theory. The theory is that there's a different version of you in a different universe. So, I'm guessing it was the original universe, but he made the A rank Oiroku no Jutsu and the S rank Harem no Jutsu, and the also other S rank Reverse Harem no Jutsu. It was just shadow clones mixed with Oiroku no Jutsu. And if you look before, I think it's entry 2, you'll see Oiroku, Harem, and Reverse Harem. Oh, and entry 1 is Reverse Oiroku, which is Sexy no Jutsu in English dub. So if you guys haven't watched subbed or heard the original name of it, there you go. There's the original name of it. So what was the next part? Yeah. He hasn't noticed, but she's unsheathed her sword. Now, this sword is not a normal sword. It's jagged. If you guys have seen Kenpachi's sword, it looks like that when it's unsheathed. That's the blade. But the handle is what you see in the picture now. Sleek, perfect looking, and there's just a small tsuba to keep her hands from slipping onto the blade. Duh. It's just this thin little piece of metal. It's not to catch another blade if it goes down. No. It's just to make sure her hand doesn't slip onto the blade. It looks like 9 tails curling around the blade, so yeah. So, she feels that 4 people are watching her and feels another presence in the clearing besides Mizuki's. And she goes, okay, so there's, I think, 5 people watching us, maybe more. There could be people listening in on us. Who knows? And he goes, what are you talking about? She goes, well, her blade's out. So he finally notices it. And she appears jabbing it through Kabuto's spine. And picks him up over her shoulder with her sword still in him. And walks out from behind the tree and jabs the sword into the ground. Kabuto is still on the blade. Remember that. He screams out in pain because he knows the jig is up and he needs to just let out the pain. So He screamed out in pain. Now he's just suffering on the ground. And she walks right up to the forbidden scroll, rattles it up, and throws it at the ship. The ship's hull cracks open like a mouth. And before it could fall back out from underneath the ship clamps down on it, stopping it from falling. So the ship basically ate the scroll. She goes, the only people who are allowed on that ship are myself and 3 people who gave it to me. And also the people I allow on the ship. You're not one of them. So, to get that scroll, you'd have to go through basically a process of dying and then coming back to life after throwing the scroll off the ship. He goes, what do you mean dying? She goes, well, there's 3 offices in that ship that aren't mine. One has so many stacks of paperwork I don't even want to go in there because I'd knock over the paperwork. 2 has very little paperwork. And 3 is just the torture room. Yeah, that room is fun. So now you know what kind of office is. Can you guess what gods live there? And he goes, gods, they aren't real. And she goes, gods are real. He goes, no, they're not. She goes, okay. What did the 4th Hokage use to seal away the QB? And he goes, he didn't. He killed it. She goes, oh, you're so misguided and uninformed. He goes, what do you mean? She goes, well, and this is the smartest idea the Hokage has ever had. He kept the fact that I'm a Jinchuriki secret. Now, the fact that I'm a Jinchuriki is being secret is the smartest thing he's done in this rule as Hokage. We need to go as his first rule. Him making Kushina Uzumaki's role as Jinchuriki secret. That's a good one. Now, keeping Mito's Jinchuriki status secret. That's also a good one. But he kind of had no choice on both of those. Because when it was transferred, the Whirlpool country was still alive. So, yeah, he kind of had no option on that. Now, I'm telling you this just to waste time and get the Anbu into position, and to inform you that the person who you've been hating on is the daughter of the hero. And he goes, no, you're just a foreigner. She goes, no, I'm Konoha, born and raised. He goes, then why? She goes, well, I'm Konoha, born and raised does not mean I'm purely Konoha. I am a citizen of Uzu. All Uzumaki clan members are a citizen of Uzu. And I'm a citizen of Konoha. Sorry, my neighbor interrupted me. Yeah. He's a really nice guy. Unless he has to pass something over the fence. Yeah. But he's a really nice guy. So, hopefully you guys don't mind that interruption. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, Anbu. The Anbu are currently making a circle around Mizuki. Not Naruko, because Naruko is Naruko and they can't touch her. Mizuki's learning all these S-rank secrets, and most of them are dealing with Naruko. Kabuto's learning all these S-rank secrets, and he's slowly sawing himself in half. Yes, he's using his upper body to saw the sword out of him. Now, he's having a moderate time of succeeding because, well, he has very little blade to saw himself through. So he's succeeding, just very, very slowly. So she looks at both of them and goes, well, my job as stopping you from taking the fake scroll of sealing is done. What else should I do? Should I torture you with that illusion? And everybody, and all the Anbu are just freezing, going, is she gonna use that illusion? Can we have a week off? And they're all signing that to each other. And the commander of the Anbu is currently watching this and laughing his butt off. And he goes, I wonder what Kitsune would think of this turn of events. Just a note appears out of nowhere and says, yo. And he goes, damn it. She's listening to me again, isn't she? And just another note falls on his head, being like, yep, I'm always listening. I'm everywhere. You can't stop me. So, he goes, God dang it. And another note falls down. He goes, you're not supposed to be typing this onto notes. So, she goes, oh well. And she goes, I completely agree. They get a day off. And he goes, just a day? And she goes, they have until I get back onto duty. He goes, but you're never on duty. She goes, they have until I get back. And when are you going to get back? Ask the Hokage. And she goes, and he goes, okay. I'll ask the Hokage. He goes to the Hokage's office, who's currently watching, and goes, sir, when is Kitsune coming back? And he goes, in 20 minutes. He immediately goes out there and says, you have 20 minutes as off. And they go, what? And he goes, you have until Kitsune gets back, and she's coming back in 20 minutes. And I'll go, woo! Everybody, all Anbu members get this note saying, Kitsune is your cue to return. Most of them don't know Kitsune's going to be back in 20 minutes. Now, with Kabuto and Mizuki, they all hear the cheering and whooping, and Naruko's like, huh, they have off until Kitsune gets back. And they both look at her and go, well, who? And she goes, oh yeah, the commander of the commanders. They're both like, what? And she goes, well, there's this triple S rank secret that only the Hokage and the Anbu and that person themselves should know. And if anybody else learns about it, immediately execution. And it's ingrained into every being that lives in Konoha. If they hear this secret and they're not sworn in by the Hokage into this secret, they immediately have their head go pop like a grape. And everybody's like, what? How does that work? And she goes, Mito Uzumaki, the first Kitsune, via Tobirama Senju, made this seal. And this seal is placed on every single Anbu member. Now, keep in mind, most Anbu members do retire, settle down, and have children. Now, it's not always Kunoichi they have children with. It's normally civilians. So their legacy goes into civilians. The civilians normally marry into clans, clans then marry into themselves, and it perpetuates through everybody. If the Hokage does not say the deactivation phrase, just knowing about this position is very deadly for your health. Very bad for your health. So, if you hear the name of the Kitsune at any point in time, your health drops to 0. Your head goes boom. You want to know the name of this Kitsune? All the Anbu members are like, yeah. Mizuki and Kabuto are like, no. Orochimaru is like, I shed my old body. And she goes, oh yeah, quick thing. This seal is very special. It was blessed by the Shinigami, the death god, to attach to every single soul that lives in Konoha. And also those who don't live in Konoha. And whoever is a legacy of Konoha. So, yeah. Yeah. Another thing about the Kitsune is they have an immediate hotline to the death god. And they all look at her and go, no, that's crazy. She goes, yeah. It is crazy. But on a counterfact, if Kitsune flatlines at least once, instead of having a chance of bringing her back, absolutely nobody can bring her back. Not even the impure world reincarnation that Tobirama Senji made. Not even that can bring back the ones who take up the mask of Kitsune. So, Mito Uzumaki was the first Kitsune. Kushina Uzumaki was the second Kitsune. And all the Anbu are like, oh, shit. We know who it is. And she goes, well, gentlemen, in the crowd, who is the last one on the list to be Kitsune? And Dragon appears going, you weren't supposed to say that. And she goes, I don't care. I have more authority than the Hokage. And he goes, you do. You do have more authority than the Hokage. Because you could literally kill the entirety of the village just by saying the Kitsune is blank. And she goes, yep. And you know which kindly warhawk trained me to be in this position? He goes, Danzo Shimura. And she goes, yep. Danzo Shimura found out who the Kitsune is by himself and was like, let me train the next one. So he trained me kindly to take up the mantle my mother left me. And like, finally, Orochimaru, Kabuto, and, well, sadly not Mizuki, but another presence who's currently listening in, without anybody knowing, puts this together. Now, the president who's listening in is not of Konoha at birth, or anywhere to relate to Konoha. So, he's perfectly fine. And his head appears out of the ground as its white Zetsu. And he says, Naruko Uzumaki is the Kitsune, isn't she? Mizuki, Kabuto. And once Orochimaru heard Naruko, he immediately switched off the the device, the seals and all that. Stopped listening in. And his head didn't start hurting. It didn't explode. So he was okay. I can't hear her last name. So I immediately wrote down on the paper, the last name, Uzumaki, is forbidden to be said in my presence. And everybody's just curious on why, so they go up to ask him why is, and then Brad to say, and he goes, because that causes a self-destruct sequence in a seal that's stuck to my soul. That'll make my head go pop. Don't know what the after effects are, but my head will go pop. I currently don't want to go pop. I want to live forever. So, yeah. He's paranoid. We still go to the clearing, which is still being completely and utterly delayed because she's just like, I'm gonna play with my food. So finally Mizuki puts it together. Well, his head's kind of blown apart, but he's dying and he finally puts it together. He goes, oh. So she pulls out of nowhere a Kitsune mask. And she's about to put it on. And immediately all Ambu who just stop her from putting it on and go, can we have another hour, please? And she goes, nope. The mask just phases right through their hand and floats to her face. Yeah. She learned how to float things to certain places on her body with Ryatsu. Yeah. So, they all go, fuck. They all disappear. Mizuki, Kabuto are all gone. She goes over, picks her sword up, puts it in the sheath, and says, you know, if I waited just a little bit longer, he would have been gone. And they look at him. He's just 9/90th or 9/10 through the rest of his body to get out of the sword. I'm like, quick question. And she goes, what did he do? Tricked Mizuki to steal the scroll of sealing for Orochimaru so he can have the Edo Tensei for something that's coming up, which is not on your pay grade yet. And they're like, whose pay grade is it on? And she goes, mine and mine alone. When it becomes, how should I say this? Dire, the Hokage's. When it becomes time, yours. She looks at dragons. And when it becomes action time, she looks at all the Anbu. So you get the pay scale now? You see how much I'm paid compared to the Hokage? And they're like, yeah. But why do you get paid so much? She goes, I hold literally every single secret in this entire village in a seal in my brain. They're like, yeah, true. And she goes, and can someone please go to this bar, shows the name of the bar, and pick up the person who just pissed on the wall? They're like, how do you know this? I have seals all over the entirety of Konoha, feeding information directly into my brain. And like, okay, why? She goes, Mito Uzumaki made this mask. Points at the mask that's on her face and says, once you put it on the first time, you become the most knowledgeable person of what happens in Konoha. I can move the crystal ball away from here, Zen, just from here. Moves it just an inch, and he freaks the fuck out. Because he forgot about that, about the Kitsune mask. They have complete control over the crystal ball. I can stop him from looking at certain areas. turns off and turns back on the crystal ball. And if I want to, poof, the crystal ball is in her hand. And they're seeing an image of this clearing in the crystal ball, delayed by like a millisecond. And she goes, and I could summon it. This crystal ball is connected to seals all over Konoha that are connected directly to my brain. And they'll go, so that thing I did a week ago, yes, I've deducted it from your pay. Because damn. And she goes, no, don't damn. That's what you get for doing that. And Dragon's like, what did he do? She goes, he went into my office. Dragon's like, and what? He put a request for him for more active duty. And he looks at him and goes, you know that's my job, right? And he goes, sir, you're on break. He goes, no. You press the Ambu tattoo, and I'm immediately there. You know this, right? And Naruko goes, I'm also listening to every time that the Ambu tattoo goes off. Every time someone presses the Ambu tattoo, I listen in. He goes, yeah, fair. She goes, see? Now we know our limits and what to do when things need to get done. Now, to solve your pay deduction, I've scheduled you for the Chunin exams. And he goes, oh, crap. And she goes, yeah, oh, crap. You wanted a pay raise and more time on the field. Well, guess what? You gotta earn it. So if you do the Chunin exams and you're vigilant for the entirety of the time, and I wouldn't mind a yawn or two. I honestly don't care if you yawn once or twice. Maybe a few hundred times on your thing, especially if it's boring. Ask Izumon Kotetsu there. Points at Beaver and Badger. And they're like, God damn it! No faces! And she's like, I don't care. You're the Ambu at the guarding the gate. You're the most important people we have. I'm like, huh, I like that. It's just, oh yeah, you know that one time when I was, what was it, 10? Yeah, 10. You know that one time when you kicked me out of the booth on a rainy day? Like, yeah, already deducted 100,000 from your pay. The year I became Kitsune. So don't worry. You're not paying for it anymore, but prepare for pranks because Naruko Uzumaki does not do rude very well. And they're like, crap. We're screwed, aren't we? Izumon Kotetsu, who just look at the other Ambu members. And they all look away and be like, you did that to yourself. Now, Hiruzen Sarutobi finally appears and be like, okay, what's going on? Because oh, you summoned it. It says, yeah, I summoned it. Now, what have I told you about peeking on the hot spring? He goes, I didn't peek on the hot... Frickin' Jiraiya. She goes, it wasn't Jiraiya. He goes, who was it then? Kakashi. Inu, who's currently in the back of the Ambu formation, just starts to slowly back away. And she goes, don't you dare run. Inu. And everybody snaps their head towards Inu and goes, well, I think it's time for a guy challenge marathon. And everybody starts grinning underneath their mask. And Kitsune's like, 3, 2, 1. And all the Anbu let out the demon head jutsu guy version, where they put as much enthusiasm into the word that is banned unless Kitsune says you can use it. And that word is youth. Guy immediately appears like, I've been summoned. And Kitsune looks at him and goes, Mike Guy, you have until team assignments to break Kakashi's lateness to everything under B and A rank missions. Being above missions. If you don't, I am burning all your youthful outfits and taking your youthful student away from you for 10 days. And you cannot train for 6 months. He looks absolutely horrified of this and immediately looks at Kakashi, flames burning in his eyes. Kakashi's like, I'm screwed, aren't I? And she goes, oh, night, I'm going home. Just kicks off the ground, just completely disappears in a giant cloud of dust. And the ship just starts creaking away. So, yes, the ship starts to creak away. We skip 3 days. It's not team assignments yet. No, that's 2 weeks from that day. So, we go to the Hokage's office, and she finally puts down her ID registration. It's the exact picture you see in the screen. The mask, the sports bra, the coat, the pants. Almost said jants, no, pants. Everything, including the sword. And she gives it to the Hokage and says, I asked for a few print out of these, and I'm giving it to the gods. And he goes, that's fine, I can't stop you anyway. And she goes, I know. So now that that's all done, we need to go on to the next situation. And he goes, what is it? She goes, Gato of Gato and shipping. He goes, okay, what do we need to do about that? She goes, they're currently trying to build a bridge and wave, but Gato of Gato shipping has, I don't know, monopolized the entirety of the island. And he goes, okay, what do you want me to do about it? Send in a team in Anbu, get Tazuna the bridge builder, his family, and sneak him out. He goes, okay. Anything else? Yes. Do it within a month. Then have them pay for C rank, but actually make it A rank. And he goes, I'm guessing the person you want to send is you and Kakashi. She goes, yes. And make sure that he writes down that it's for his entire family. And he goes, why? Gato. He's a money grubber. He sells girls into slavery. He goes, oh. Guessing daughter and granddaughter? Nope, daughter and son. He goes, oh, okay. Will do. A week and a half later, the Jonin meeting before the things. Kakashi appears early to this meeting. It sits in the corner, knees up to his chest, rocking back and forth. Kurenai, Asuma appear right on time. The rest slowly file in after. And it's maybe a minute, 2 minutes before he can start. Asuma and Kurenai see Kakashi curled up in a corner, and he's just whispering about Kitsune being mean, Kitsune being mean, foxes being mean, foxes being mean. And they're like, what? Sarutobi looks at Kakashi and says, so, are you going to be late? He goes, no, sir, no, sir, no, sir. And he goes, and why are you not going to be late? Because I don't have to do another few months of guy challenges. I really don't like Kitsune right now. Please don't make her on my team. Please don't put her on my team. And they're all like, who? And he goes, I can't say. They're like, who's Kitsune? Sarutobi's like, Operation Code Blackout. Everybody blacks out except for Kakashi, and he's just rocking back and forth. And he goes, God damn it, Kakashi. He throws a scroll at him. Kakashi immediately catches the scroll, and it says, you spill my secret one more time, you're going in the brig. And he's like, oh God, no. I'm good. I'm getting over it. He stands up shakily and stands in the center of the room. Everybody wakes up and stands up like in a zombie trance and gets back to normal. And they see Kakashi and they're like, is it the end of the world? Because they look at their watch and they see that he's on time. And he goes, I had a change of heart. And he looks lazy still because he put on his mask of indifference. So Kakashi is not going to be late anymore. It's a good thing. We go to Iruka. He's currently giving a speech about how all of them are now genin, lowest of the low in the military rank. But he believes that they can get stronger and become something. And we go to Naruko, who's currently in the back, napping. Just head down on the table, doesn't care. He's about to go on another long rant when he hears a poof in the room. And he sees Kitsune appear. And she goes, you give another boring rant to where I can't watch Kakashi get tormented by his own genin. You are going in the brig. He goes, yes, ma'am. And all of them are like, dolphin? Yes, she said dolphin. They're all like, dolphin. And Iruka goes, well, I gotta tell him. And she goes, the people who survive till this long deserve to be genin at this point. So we go, and Kakashi appears on, actually early. It says, Team 7, you're with me. Roof, now. Iruka goes, well, Team 1 through 6, check the board. I put your names on the board. Team 7, Naruko Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha, and Haruno. Yes, Sakura is still in this. Not for long, though. But they all get going. And finally, they get to the roof. He looks at them incredulously and says, "You're late." And Naruko takes in a deep breath and he goes, "I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding." And both of them look at where he's looking and just sees Naruko just sweetly smiling. Naruko gives off this weird aura that something bad was about to happen. So they introduce each other. Doesn't change much except for Naruko. Her likes, training, her pet, the Dutchman. Her dislikes, arrogant emos, arrogant clans, and people who don't know their place in society. Her hobbies. Smithing, playing an instrument, training, and going on dates with their girlfriends, about to be wives. Yeah. So, yeah. She says that, and just Sakura is like, "What?" Kakashi is like, "Good for you." And Sasuke's like, "I don't care." Sakura looks scandalized at this point, and Sakura gets a quick news flash from Naruko. It's okay to have same-gender love. It's okay. And she goes, What are you talking about?" And she immediately looks at her and goes, "When a man and a woman love each other, that's their thing. When two women love each other, that's their thing. When two men love each other, that's their thing." Sakura's like, "No, that's not normal." And Naruto's like, "It doesn't matter what's normal or not. We're in the ninja world. There's only blood and life." And Sakura's like, What are you talking about?" And she goes, "Well, blood for death, and then there's life. There's no real stopping life, and there's no real stopping death. People are just people. Our preferences might be different per person, but people are people." Quick thing. That is my stance on gender marriages. I'm not going to go into gender changes or any of that because I honestly don't want to and don't care. So if you guys are really wanting my position on and that stuff, I am not bringing it onto this platform. But same gender marriages, I honestly could take it or leave it. I don't care. One of my friends is getting married to the same gender. Good for them. I'm not going to be there when they say, "Who has a problem with this?" I'm not going to be like, "I do." I'm going to be like, "Okay, you guys get married. It doesn't matter to me. It's not my life." So, that's my stance on that. Hopefully you guys can understand. I'm not going to go into depth of what I think about genders. I'm never going to bring that onto this platform. And if I do, tell me in the comments so I could take down the video, please. Because I honestly don't want that on my platform. So, hopefully you guys can understand that. And back to the story. So, Sakura is just like, "That's not normal." And Naruto's like, "I don't care what you say." Looks at Sasuke and goes, "Thank you for at least not caring." Yes. "I honestly don't care because my brother was gay." And everybody turns towards him and goes, "What?" And that was completely fake from Naruko, because she already knew this. And so Sasuke's like, yeah. It's something he hid from our father. Not from our mother. She was always understanding about that stuff. But let's get on with this. And Naruko's like, wait. Don't you hate your brother for the Uchiha massacre? And he goes, oh yeah, I hate him for that. He's a really bad person. But when I knew him, his preferences just didn't affect what his home life was. He was a really good brother until the end, when he killed our entire family. And I'm going to cut his head off after learning the original story. And Naruto immediately looks at him and goes, I don't have to do very much work anyway. And Sasuke's like, what do you mean you don't have to do very much work? She goes, next thing to do, what about the true gening test? And Kakashi's like, obviously you would know about that. And she's just, duh, I'm friends with Tenten. Because, god damn it. And when did you become friends with Tenten? I think it was the second year of Chakra control. And he goes, oh yeah, you're on the same class. I go, yeah. She goes, yeah, can we get on with this? And he goes, yeah. So we go to the next day. Kakashi appears 4 hours late and just getting a death glare from her. And he goes, it's part of the test. It's part of the test. And he goes, I know, and that's why I'm giving you a death glare, not calling for him. And he goes, I know. And they all look, and Sasuke and Sakura are like, what is part of the test? And she goes, oh, just listen. Just listen. I already know all the things about this test because I've learned it from my friend Tenten. But you both need to learn what this test is about, so I can't help you. Entirely, anyway. Sasuke hears this, he goes, okay, she can't help entirely. That's suspicious. Kakashi's like, yes, she's right. She can't help entirely. Now, he pulls out 1 bell instead of 2 because if they don't pass, she gets an apprenticeship and goes on her way of being a shinobi. They fake her Chunin promotion, they fake her Jonin promotion, and so on. Well, halfway through the time, Sasuke walks right up to her and goes, it's about teamwork, isn't it? And she goes, how much are you going to pay me to confirm or deny that? And he goes, god damn it. I'll pay you my first mission's wage. And she goes, yeah, it's teamwork. He goes, good. He yells into the forest, Sakura, get your ass out here. She goes, yes. He goes, I have a plan. I need both of you. And Naruko stands up and like, now I'm curious. What's your plan? And he says his plan and she goes, you know this ain't gonna work, right? And he goes, yeah. The whole goal is for it not to work. And Naruko's like, oh, I see. Sakura's like, I don't see. She goes, you don't need to see to be useless. Just do your part of the plan and stay out of Sasuke's way. She goes, will do. Immediately, Naruko transforms into Sasuke and switches with him a few dozen times to confuse her. And she immediately starts imitating Sasuke's voice and goes, okay, let's start the plan. Sasuke's like, oh my god. She's a fucking genius. So, Sasuke, Naruko, and Sakura they all start fighting. Naruko uses the interceptor fist like Sasuke does, because he doesn't know anything else. She knows the interceptor fist just above his level, because she didn't spend very much time into it. No. What she spent her time in was the Dead Man's Fist, which will be explained later. Now, I think it's almost time, maybe? Ooh. I'm past the time. I'm going to end it here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, consider hitting that like, subscribe, comment. Comment what I did right, comment what I did wrong. I like reviews and suggestions. Hope you guys enjoyed. Talk to you guys later. Bye.